You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Será que a gente adivinha? Você quer acelerar sua carreira ou ingressar naquela profissão dos seus sonhos, mas com a correria do dia a dia não te sobra muito tempo para se dedicar aos estudos? Acertamos? Então os cursos livres do Senac são para você. Quer aprender de forma rápida o que você tanto sonha? Acesse sp.senac.br/cursos livres e ainda descubra descontos incríveis. Quer saber? Senac.
Pausa rapidinho agora para falar de dica de ouro para os papais e mamães. Depois de experimentar a nova Hug Supreme Care Fralda Roupinha, tudo ficou ainda melhor pro meu filho. É a única com canais em X que se adaptam aos movimentos, com 2 vezes proteção noturna e cintura elástica que se adapta ao corpinho do bebê, além de ser super fácil de colocar e tirar. Praticidade pura. Então guarda essa dica. Nova Hug Supreme Care Fralda Roupinha. Bebê, estamos juntos nessa, mais do que nunca. Agora curta seu podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal. It's a night episode once again, Ken, and you're looking at me as if craziness is about to happen.
I think so. I think we're all delirious, as per usual.
We're bathed in sun and drenched in sunscreen.
Way too much time out in the sun.
This is time stamping, but today is Memorial Day, so we were
Here
all
in the
outside.
US, yeah.
We're getting some sun. Matt,
You say we all are, except for me, who is at work.
You were at the conglomerate
Which
today.
I'm sure is invigorating.
Yeah, people need their conglomerate shakes on Memorial Day.
And how many people walked in and asked you to put sunscreen on their back?
At least 10.
All right.
Conglomerate Shakes. What a great name for a product.
And a good band name as well. Well, we're all excited to be here today on the holiday because we are timestamping it. Who cares? But we're joined by some very special guests. Our first guest is actually going to be hosting today's game. You might recognize his last game, which we had sort of a wild time with. It was episode 198 called Sam Jumps. He's our own Samuel Beckett, Triviality's own Quantum Leaper, coming to us from Huntsville, Alabama. Dutch enthusiast on Patreon, Will Nevin. How are you, Will?
I'm doing well, and I'm sorry for anyone who enjoyed the last episode. No poop jokes in this one.
Oh,
My apologies.
Oh, nuts.
That's
glad
okay.
to have you back, though. I love Sam Leaps. That was a great one.
I have a feeling that you're going to provide 5 good categories at the end.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I get it. Good joke.
For anyone who doesn't remember that episode, why don't you fill us in on who you are, what you're up to, and anything else you'd like to tell us about?
Sure. I am a college professor here in Huntsville. I teach at the Alabama A&M. I was at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. So it's been a year of changes, but I'm happy to be here. And we got, once again, a real stupid game. So yeah, it should be fun.
I love stupid games.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a stupid game, especially for 4 stupid people in the studio here.
It's
Speaking
the
for
game or a
myself.
lack of seriousness, guys.
That's right.
This is what we're here for.
Well, our guest today, we're super excited to have back. I believe
Not stupid.
Not stupid, no. And I could be wrong.
Speaking of stupid.
I like how we have to make that completely obvious, even though it's not necessary.
I have to check the notes here.
Oh,
I
good
think
Foley.
might be our first Canadian listener, maybe, of all time.
Perhaps.
It's very close. I believe it could be our first Canadian listener.
Was your mom Canadian?
She is not Canadian. She acts Canadian, but she's definitely American.
Fair enough.
My mom's still not listening. Also not Canadian.
Also not Canadian.
Is that because every time I approach your mom and complain about you, she tells me she's sorry?
Stop approaching
Sounds
his
right.
mom.
But she is a Savage Superstar on Patreon, coming to us from Edmonton. We also like to call her Triviality's roller derby captain because she's a badass, and that is Stacey McPeek. How are you, Stacey?
Hi, Neal. Or hi, everybody.
No, just
and
Neal,
also,
it's
point of
fine.
order, it was not Memorial Day here either, so I worked full day
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
as did most of my country folks.
Did you have to put sunscreen
yeah.
on anyone's back today, like Matt?
No, I was in this very seat where I am right now, where I work most of the time.
Well, that's
Oh,
better.
wonderful.
That
no one
sounds
came
better.
in, even my spouse.
And why don't you remind folks a little bit about yourself?
Fair enough. I'm Stacey. I play trivia, ergo why I'm here. I'm a lawyer by day. I work in professional regulation, making sure that lawyers, not lawyers anymore, doctors and dentists in Alberta don't screw over their patients.
Ah, noble profession.
Very noble profession. And what would you say to the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors? Would you represent him, or would you just kind of ignore it?
Well, I always am the prosecutor, so I definitely would not represent them.
Put the screws to Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, take him down.
That's right.
Well, Stacey, you're going to be playing today, and there was a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors going on here, very intense. And it seems to be that you're going to be partnering with Matt. Is that right, Matt?
That is correct.
All right.
And I lost rock, paper, scissors.
You lost, but you're playing. That means you get to play with me.
Yeah.
And Jeff, you're going to score keep.
That is correct.
All right. So, Stacey, you're going to partner with Matt. Any preference on a team name? Matt, anything?
Well, I won rock, paper, scissors. She's from Canada. Will be rock, maple, scissors.
All right. Rock, maple, scissors. And,
that's dumb, right? Good.
And Neal, I just saw a tweet about a cat named Baby Jeff, so I think we should be Baby Jeff.
Baby Jeff.
Yeah.
All right.
The only cat I ever liked.
All right. And
sorry, I don't know who to credit the tweet to. It was funny, though.
Baby Jeff. That's okay. That's a good team name, though. And Will, as host, any preference on the rules read as we throw it to the rules?
Let's get that Conway Twitty version.
All right. Cue up Conway Twitty.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream!
What does that mean?
It was long.
It was long. It was longer than normal. It was like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this joke. Don't look at me. I don't know what's happening.
Well,
I assume it's a Family Guy reference. Is it not?
Conway Twitty is a musician.
Yeah, famous musician. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't play it actually because of copyright, but
Darren did a good job.
He did.
Yeah.
He tries best.
Will, feel free to take it away. We're ready to go over here.
All right, I promised a stupid game, and you might say that this first round is scared stupid because this round celebrates the life, the career, the many varied interests of one James Albert Varney or Ernest. First round, Ernest saves Triviality. Question number 1. Varney was born June 15th, 1949 in Lexington, Kentucky, the heart of bourbon country. By law, bourbon mash, the substance distilled in the alluring intoxicant, must be at least 51% of what grain?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and lock in here.
Stacey, what are you thinking?
I think it's corn, isn't it?
I was gonna say corn. It's mostly grown in Kentucky and Tennessee, which is big corn country. So corn would be my guess too. So I think we're good to lock in with corn.
And Ken, you were saying corn or rye.
Yeah, I said corn and you said nay.
Oh no, I just said really. I was intrigued.
Okay. And then we said rye.
Yeah, we said rye.
So we think rye.
Points for one team, incredibly close for another. It is corn whiskey.
All right.
Corn whiskey. It can include rye, barley, any other grain. I've actually had one with quinoa, but it's got to be at least 51% corn.
Yeah, and Ernest was actually the bassist in
things.
corn, so that's how I knew that.
That would have been a great movie. Ernest Takes Corn. I didn't realize that corn is in everything. I just realized in America, especially.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Question number 2. Before the creation of the Ernest P. Worrell character in 1980 by Varney and Nashville advertising agency Carden and Cherry, Varney was featured on the Johnny Cash and Friends television series alongside what wild and crazy guy, also known for his skill on the banjo?
We can lock in.
Noted podcaster, I think. Do you know this one, Stacey?
Yeah, I think. And someone I mentioned prosecuting earlier,
Yeah,
Steve Martin.
we invoked him and he appeared.
Yeah, Steve Martin.
The real life Beetlejuice.
And speaking of what Stacey said, what a great episode title for a true crime podcast, Prosecuting Steve Martin.
You guys are witches. It was Steve Martin.
That was weird.
I just realized that I wrote down Stephen Martin.
That's what his mom calls him.
I was like, is that what you call him up in Canada? You're more formal up there with the Stephen Martin.
Well, if we were prosecuting him, I wouldn't prosecute a Steve. I'd prosecute a Steven. So
That's true.
Take the stand, Stephen.
Hence, therefore comes,
ergo,
yeah, etc.
Concordantly.
But what a jerk, right? More Grammy nominations and wins for bluegrass than for comedy.
Big jerk.
And then he hangs out with, really uber talented people like Martin Short. What a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Solid reference.
Question number 3. Varney was also a musician, specializing in the mountain dulcimer, an instrument he played on the final episode of this Fox talk show, fronted by a former SNL cast member and savaged by a New York Times critic in 1993 as, quote, a top contender for a compilation of television's worst moments. I'd rather forget it.
Sounds great.
So we're looking for a Fox TV show that got panned.
An SNL alum.
I have a good idea on this one, but
I'm just trying to think if it was like a parody talk show, but they actually released it because they thought it would work and it got panned, like a Stuart Smalley type thing.
They went live with Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk would have been great live.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, we don't really have an idea, so we're just gonna lock in a guess.
There's something in the back of my mind that Dana Carvey had a talk show, very short-lived, but you said you had an inkling, so I'm fine if that's...
I remember Chevy Chase having a very, very widely panned talk show where he seemed like he didn't want to be there and he didn't want his guests there, and it did not go well for him.
I'm guessing it was more than it seemed that.
I was going to say, that sounds familiar for other projects he worked on.
Not a popular man. Are you okay locking in with Chevy Chase?
I really like that because Dana Carvey would have still been on an SNL in 93, so...
All right, we're going to lock in
That
with
makes sense.
Chevy Chase.
I know this is incorrect. I was basically in the same line of thinking as Stacy. Dana Carvey had a show that was panned. There's a documentary about it that's really interesting. That's just what we went with, Dana Carvey.
It was the Chevy Chase show.
Yeah.
And I watched the clip of Varney on there. He's promoting the Beverly Hillbillies. Chase repeatedly calls it the Clampets. And it's so awkward and so uncomfortable, but Varney is charming as hell, and he does a great job on the mountain dulcimer. Like, I have, you can tell that I really like Jim Varney. I have said that he deserved the career that Jim Carrey has. But anyway,
he was super talented.
He certainly deserved better than. Yeah, he certainly deserved better than Chevy Chase.
And Shakespearean trained as well.
Yeah. Anyway, question number 4. After more than 5 years of local television commercials, Varney's Ernest character hit national theaters with 1987's Ernest Goes to Camp, which was followed in 1988 by Ernest Saves Christmas. If you wanted to save Christmas for your kids in 1988, this electronic entertainment system was at the top of trade newspaper Toy and Hobby World's Hot Toys list, beating out Barbie, Micro Machines, Pictionary, and Ghostbuster action figures.
I love Micro Machines. Whatever happened to those?
It's between the two of them. I'm just thinking about a gift that I got around that time, but I mean, we can go with your gut if you want, because I steered you away from corn, so we'll just...
I remember that it was like, I always thought that it was a little later, but it wasn't.
Okay. I'll let you do it, because then if it was my answer, then we'll cancel each other out, and then we'll be clean for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards it's a video game of some sort, which I will be terrible with years because I feel like I always got them like when the next one came out. So
That's because you were in Canada. They always get there late.
No, it's because my parents were like, "Go play outside."
Oh.
I don't need that.
Here's a hockey stick.
Experience nature.
Here's a hockey stick.
That explains why you're more successful
Like Game
than us.
Boy is is Game Boy the right time?
Game Boy might be, because Nintendo is definitely 85 is when the Nintendo came out. And 88 is too early for Sega and for Super Nintendo, because I believe that's 90 or 91. But yeah, I think Game Boy is Game Boy. I can't talk today.
Game Boy.
I think Game Boy is a pretty good guess there. I think we can lock in with that.
All right, you guys are going with the Game Boy. I actually thought it was the Sega Genesis. Neal wants to go Nintendo. I thought that was too late, so we're going Sega Genesis for justice.
Points for Neal. Nintendo Entertainment System. Still burning up the charts in 88.
All right, so justice
Justice
has been had.
We're clean now. So you got corn, I got Nintendo. Now we're starting. It's tabula rasa.
Is that because you got no points?
Yeah. Well, we have time.
Question number 5. In 1989, for his work on his short-lived children's show, Hey Vern, It's Ernest, Varney won the first Outstanding Performer in Children's Series Daytime Emmy, beating Barbara Billingsley, Sonia Manzano, Fred Rogers, and which former Beatle, who also happens to be the shortest? For a double your pleasure, double your fun, degenerate gamblers double down or nothing challenge, what legendary comedian received a nomination for the same role as said Beatle?
Okay. We are locked in over here.
We're locked in with both. So this is 20 points here, potentially.
Could be. It could be the comeback we needed.
Okay.
Well, I think my idea is pulling up to the station now. Do you have any ideas on what this could be?
I'm tooting as well, because it's definitely Ringo Starr and George Carlin.
Yep.
They're too smart for us.
That's what we said too.
we said the same.
Indeed it is. Ringo Starr and George Carlin.
That's for Thomas the train engine for the folks at home. Because
Right.
I don't think we ever said it out loud.
Famously, the conductor played by George Carlin, who every episode he said the 7 words not to say on television.
Well,
You think they wouldn't have kept bringing him back for every episode, but he was.
It's a
he
good
was one of the
bit.
greats.
Well, Thomas was a real. You could just drop a bleep in if you want.
Or the train sound.
Well, we really needed the extra 10 points because that brought us to 30.
And how about the other team here, Jeff?
Yeah, you've got a whopping it's 50 points over there at Rock Maple Syrup.
Whatever it was.
No, that's correct.
Question number 6. After he saved Christmas, Ernest found himself in the custody of the state. In 1990s, Ernest goes to jail. In what metropolitan county, the largest by population in the U.S., would you find the largest by inmates jail system in the country? And no, it's not the one the Blues Brothers left. It's only the 3rd or 4th largest.
All right, we're going to go ahead and lock in here with a bad guess.
All right, let's talk U.S. geography.
Where has
I'm
Stacey
pleading
prosecuted
Canadian.
people?
Yeah.
Where she sent people?
Yeah.
Pleading Canadian.
Sent all those
Dentists?
malfeasant dentists to. I think based on my experience living there, Los Angeles County had quite a few people. I think New York has multiple counties that make up the larger metropolitan area, but I'm pretty sure that everyone in Los Angeles is in LA County. So I would lean towards that.
Yeah, we had really nothing educated to say about this, but being sure to name a county with probably also a large prison population, we say Cook County.
The question referred to Cook County, and it's not that one. That's okay. But the answer to the question is LA County.
Mm-hmm.
LA County. So LA County, Rikers in New York, Harris County in Houston, Texas, and Maricopa County, all about there and around the top 5.
So
in addition to Cook County.
San Quentin then would be in Los Angeles County?
That's prison. This is just looking specifically at jails.
Oh, just jails. Oh, see, I was thinking huge, big prisons with big walls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Places none of us would survive.
Let's be real, that question escaped us.
It did.
Nice. I like that one. Question number 7. In addition to on-screen roles, Varney also voiced many animated characters, including Toy Story's Slinky Dog, Atlantis: The Lost Empire's Cookie Farnsworth, and Walt Evergreen, for which Jason Alexander helmed animated series that ran on USA Network from 1994 to 1997.
Why is this game in my wheelhouse?
Characters are welcome, Matt.
You're
That's
good.
why.
You're good on this?
Yeah.
All right, they're locked in. What do you think? Do you know this?
Do you know Stacey before we lock in? If you want. No. Okay.
If you want to lock in, go right ahead.
Yeah.
They don't get USA up there.
I don't know about a Jason Alexander-led animated show.
I kept trying
Me
to push
neither.
it after Raw. That's how I know it.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea whatsoever. Earthworm Jim?
Earthworm.
Yeah, I really
Is that a
don't.
show too?
It might have been. It was definitely a video game. Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't even know he had an animated series. If this was like Howie
Tick?
Mandel or Louis Anderson, I mean The Tick maybe, but that was different.
I know.
But
The current one is what? Patrick Warburton?
Seinfeld
feel
Connection.
like-
yeah, how about we'll just say it's the Shrinkage.
Okay.
Um,
That's a very significant answer.
yeah. This one is a show that's pretty funny, and it actually left on a cliffhanger. They never resolved it, but I'm pretty sure that this is Duckman.
Duckman it is.
I've never heard of this.
Jason Alexander, Eric Tiberius Duckman.
It's an ugly
was a duck.
show.
So what's it about? He's a duck?
Yeah.
Private detective duck, right?
Private duck.
and there's a lot of twists where it's actually his brother. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I've seen that cartoon.
Oh, I do remember that show. I didn't know that was Jason Alexander.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Look it up.
I definitely remember the art, that's for sure.
Question number 8. In 1995, Varney starred in Slam Dunk Ernest alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played the Archangel of Basketball. Abdul-Jabbar is currently 16th on the NBA basketballreference.com list of players ranked by points per game at 24.61. Who are the 4 still active players above him? 5 points if you can name at least 2. So I'm looking for the 4 active players in points per game in the top 15.
All right, I said 2 obvious ones, and Neal filled out 2 more, so we're locked in.
Okay. So we'll start with LeBron James, probably. Do you have one?
Yeah. Well, last time I was on this, I don't know if you recall, but I listed 3 wrestlers and misnamed John Cena. So
Okay,
probably this is going to be all you.
Gotcha. So far I have LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant are probably 3 of them. And I'm struggling with the 4th one because I'm not sure if it's a younger player who's just scoring a lot and he's only had high scoring, or it's like an aging superstar. But I think we can go with Anthony Davis as the 4th one. I think if he's not above that, he's pretty close. So,
all right, Neal, what did we have besides Steph Curry and LeBron James?
I was just trying to think of players that scored a lot, that were popular, and whose last name sounded like a great law firm in honor of Stacey. So we went Lillard and Leonard for Dame Lillard and Kawhi Leonard.
I believe both teams are getting 5 points, but you can check my math on this. So the answers are, in order: Kevin Durant, 4th place; LeBron James, 5th place; James Harden. 13th place; and Damian Lillard at 15th place. Steph Curry, 18th; Anthony Davis, 21st; Devin Booker, 23rd; Karl Anthony Towns, 24th; Kyrie Irving, 27th; Russell Westbrook, 28th; and Carmelo Anthony, 31st.
So do we get points?
We get 5, yeah.
Yep.
Because I put Damian Lillard in there.
Oh.
Did you get 5, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I completely forgot about Kevin Durant. Of course, and James Harden, all he does is score. He just doesn't win championships.
Or play defense.
Well, that's the funny thing is, like, it's like, how did OKC not win a championship with the 2 of them? But whatever.
And Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, right.
Question number 9. In the follow-up to Slam Dunk Ernest, Varney and his collaborators, enablers, produced Ernest Goes to Africa in 1997. Quote, "I was expecting way worse, but it was slightly watchable, if only for the wrongness," says one audience reviewer for Rotten Tomatoes. The film, along with such other notable pictures as Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, The Kissing Booth 2 and 3, America Ninja 2, and Ernest in the Army, were shot entirely in this African country.
Oh, no, not Kissing Booth 2 and 3.
Have you seen those movies?
I've dabbled in Kissing Booth.
So there's a huge film production center in this place that I know for sure.
Okay, we'll lock in then.
Oh boy, I don't know how much help I'd be in this one.
There were no clues other than the movies were filmed there, right? Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm inclined to say either Nigeria or Kenya, and Nigeria because I think Nigeria has like a kind of like an equivalent of Bollywood, like where they make a crap ton of movies in it.
Okay.
That would be my best guess. It would be Nigeria.
Hand in the air shrug emoji. Yeah, I think then we're gonna go with Nigeria.
We talked it over. I know for a fact that South Africa has a huge film production world. They film a lot of movies there, and it's increasing every year. And we just are kind of hedging our bets and saying South Africa.
It is South Africa, and I'm dying to know why it's cheaper for an American production to fly to South Africa and film this movie than it is, especially when it's direct to video. Like that just like it blew my mind.
Well,
and Wikipedia has a page where you can see all of the films that were shot in South Africa.
Well, when you're really in Africa,
there's some weird ones on
the
there.
actor's reaction, you can tell, on screen.
Right, you're saving all that Hollywood cocaine money in the budget.
I was gonna say I don't know if they're like the state of Georgia, but do they shell out like big incentives to go there, Neal? Or?
Yeah, there's a lot of incentives. Yeah, and they're just building great production facilities and whatnot, and the weather's obviously pretty consistent. So
yeah.
All right, let's get the last question of the first round. Hopefully, we can catch up a little bit here.
The final Ernest film, Ernest in the Army, sees Ernest enlist because he wanted to drive big trucks. What trophy, which has nothing to do at all with the film, but is usually awarded personally by the President of the United States, goes to the winner each season of the college football series between the service academies of the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force?
Any clue?
I've seen them give the trophy. It's not. I know there's one of them is a pig, but that's a different college. Iowa did that one. There's like a golden pig. Just trying to think, like you said, like a missile. What would it be? Like a
silver torpedo.
Atomic football.
Yeah, just a suitcase, a golden or a brass suitcase nuke or something.
By the way, when I'm saying these metallic explosive devices, stop me if I accidentally name a sex toy. What do you want to say? The silver torpedo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little Navy specific, but why not? Who cares? Silver torpedo.
So this is not the question that we're catching up on.
Nah, well, that's okay. You probably won't fall further behind because I have no idea. Stacey, you a big college football fan?
And presidential medals.
Yeah.
It's really one of my favorite things to read up on in my spare time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear any like clues that could even be like, well, maybe we'll just throw this out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Army Navy, the game every year is like it's nationally broadcast, even though the teams are usually terrible because it is a big deal. I mean, like, it's not like a Purple Heart, but like Golden Boot, or I have no idea.
Feels like that's probably a soccer.
It is, yeah. The Golden Boot is for the guy who scores the most in the World Cup.
But I just mean, like, I feel like they probably aren't going to take it from them.
Oh, America's known to take some things from time to time. But
like, whatever you want to lock in with, I'm fine with, Matt. I honestly won't pick anything.
We're kind of the platinum tank.
The answer is the Commander-in-Chief's trophy.
Oh,
Commander-in-Chief's trophy.
Too obvious.
And it was the platinum tank.
That'd be great. What about we got 45 points in that first round.
It's like you don't even care that I'm trying to keep score for once. Ken.
All right,
Stealing my
Baby Jeff, tell us what we got.
Yeah, Baby Jeff. Baby Jeff is coming in with a score of 45 points right now, but in the lead, Rock Maple Syrup with 75 points.
Sabia que você inspira outras pessoas? Às vezes é difícil reconhecer o seu valor, mas eu tô aqui para dizer, você vale muito. L'Oréal Paris quer lembrar todas as mulheres disso, inclusive no cinema. Por isso, criou o Lights on Women's Worth Awards no Festival de Cannes, um prêmio que celebra as diferentes narrativas das mulheres no cinema e inspira outras, porque representatividade e reconhecimento são importantes. L'Oréal Paris, porque você vale muito.
Chegou a melhor parte do podcast. É hora de provar a melhor Coca-Cola. A Coca-Cola sem açúcar. O sabor irresistível da Coca-Cola, sem açúcar e igualmente refrescante. Coca-Cola sem açúcar. A melhor escolha.
The swing round is needlessly complicated because I took notes on my last one and it was too fun and too easy. So I thought, let's complicate things. So we're going to alternate between the teams. It's 10 questions, so each team will get 5. But this is second best at the box office. I will give you 3 clues. The first clue will be a year and the number 1 film at the box office. Your job is to tell me what was number 2. If you don't get it after the first clue, I'll give you a 2-word hint. And then for a third clue, I will give you the leads. And again, we'll alternate between the teams. The points will be, if you can get it just on the year and the number 1 film, 20 points. If you can get it with the 2-word hint, 10 points. And if you get all the way down and you need the leads, it's 5 points. If at any point you venture a guess and are incorrect, your chance at that question is dead, and it goes over to the other team for 10 points.
Okay. And this is the second best grossing movie of the year, right? Not at that moment in the box office when the top movie is out, correct? So for the whole year.
Correct.
Okay.
For the whole year, from Box Office Mojo's domestic tally of in-year grosses.
Okay. Let's get the first one. Who wants to go first?
We can. We're behind, so we'll start first.
1977, Star Wars.
Do you just want to get it? Get the second clue?
Yeah, let's do the second one.
Eastbound, Down.
So that would be, okay, baseball.
Oh,
possibly.
what about
Bad News Bears?
What about like Thelma and Louise?
That would be
Eastbound, Down.
That I like your thinking, but that would be 80s though, not 77. So Eastbound Down makes me think of baseball. Could be Bad News Bears. It's about in that time. That was a pretty popular movie, but I mean, we could also, I'm trying to think, 77. We could get another clue if you want.
All right, let's get the clue.
Burt Reynolds, Sally Field.
Oh, we're looking for, oh my God. Now, of course, I have a brain fart right now.
Cannonball Run.
Down.
No, oh my God.
Loaded Up and Truckin'.
There we go.
Smokey and the Bandit?
Smokey and the Bandit, yeah.
All right.
I couldn't think of the name. That's our official answer.
Smokey and the Bandit for 5 points.
Good job, guys.
All right.
Question number 2, over to the other team. 1980, Empire Strikes Back.
I'm going to venture we probably need the clue, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't seeing movies in 1980. I'll tell you that.
Nor was I.
Okay, let's get that clue.
Workin' Ladies.
Oh, it's 9 to 5.
Okay.
9 to 5 is correct for 10 points.
All right, way to go.
Good poll.
Over to the other team for question number 3. 1983, Return of the Jedi.
Neil's going to take a stab
Daughter?
at one of these, just so you know.
Clue, Neil?
Yeah, we can take it.
Daughter Dies.
And Sophie's Choice is definitely not number 2.
Chinatown, too late.
Sophie's Choice is a great one, though.
Chinatown would be, Chinatown is 79.
No, I'm thinking about Chinatown. Forget that.
Forget it.
Forget it. Easy
Daughter
joke.
Dies. I feel like I know it, but we're going to have to take a clue again, I think.
All right.
Shirley MacLaine, Deborah Winger.
Yeah, Terms of Endearment.
Terms of Endearment for 5 points is correct.
I love how disappointed you are in yourself.
Well, that was my guess, too, and I just didn't want to ruin those extra points, and I should have just said it.
Question number 4. 1985, Back to the Future.
You want the clue?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Let's get a clue.
Sly, sequel.
So which Rocky came out in 1995 or 1985?
85 is, I'm pretty sure it's Rocky 3.
I say we go with it.
All right, Rocky 3.
Rocky 3 is incorrect.
Ooh.
Over to the other team for 10 points.
Oh, it can't go to us. You said it was Sly. What was the other clue?
Sequel.
Okay.
Sly, sequel. The leads are Sylvester Stallone and Richard Crenna.
So we're going to go Rambo First Blood Part 2.
For 10 points, that is correct.
I think
get
it's
5
5
points.
because you gave him the leads, technically.
No, it's a steal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a steal.
Gotcha.
We stole it just like the United States government stole John Rambo's dignity.
You drew First Blood, not me.
And we stay with them for question number 5. 1987, 3 Men and a Baby.
That was number 1 that year? Jeez.
So
It's a great
87.
film.
That was number
Good
1.
year of my birth.
That is the year of your birth. So here's the thing. So 87 is Dirty Dancing's year, which made a lot of money, but I don't know if it would be number 2. I should know that.
We just got some free points. You want to?
Yeah, let's just take the extra clue.
Oh, you earned them.
Wait, you're going to
want
gamble?
Extra
Or clue?
Extra clue?
I just don't know if it was number 2, though. It made a lot of money on a low budget, but it made $215 million.
That's a lot.
Neil's the person on the chase who takes the lower amount.
I know.
It's up to you. I mean, we could take one more clue, but 87 is Dirty Dancing.
Let's gamble.
Okay. All right, you want to go with
Dirty
it?
Dancing?
We'll say Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing is incorrect.
All right. Give us all the clues.
So, again, the question is 1987, 3 Men and a Baby. Second clue, affair, obsession. Third clue, Michael Douglas, Glenn Close.
Mm-hmm.
I always mix up 2 movies. Is this a Basic Instinct or Basic Instinct? Or is it the other one?
I think it's the other one. I think Basic Instinct is later. But I don't know what that movie's called.
You guys should. You're probably gonna have to stew on this one for a little bit.
Oh, what's the other? Like, I always mix it up. Is
Um,
Basic Instinct the one where she uncrosses her legs, Sharon Stone?
yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Every week for us in the
Okay.
studio.
I always mix these 2 movies up, so I realize that the plots may not be the same, but just they're like.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Okay, they are similar. Okay, I wasn't certain.
Every erotic thriller with Michael Douglas is pretty similar.
Yeah.
In every movie, he's portrayed way hotter than he really is.
Oh, dang it! I can't pull it. I know it's right here, but I can't grab it.
Okay. Untitled Michael Douglas feature film.
You get the moral satisfaction of a double steal, but it was the other one, Fatal Attraction.
Fatal.
Yes,
Attraction.
I knew it was like a 2 words. 2 words.
You were right
They
there.
were all 2 words in that
Fair
era
enough.
of erotic
Yeah.
thrillers.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stick with you guys for question number 6. 1993, Jurassic Park.
I feel like this is prime Disney era, but I don't know if this is like Beauty and the Beast, but
I think Beauty and the Beast is 92.
okay. Well, I guess let's get a clue.
So it could be
then.
It could be Aladdin.
Okay, let's get a clue and see
But-
if that'll.
Let's get a clue. Sure.
Clue is question flame.
Does that help at all?
No.
Yeah, I think that makes it worse.
I feel like we had more information before we got that clue.
I know. Now I have a question. I guess let's get one more.
Sure.
I should have said at the beginning that some of these clues are real dumb,
Yeah.
and some of them stray into wordplay. Third hint here, Robin Williams and Sally Field.
Oh, it's
Mrs.
Mrs.
Doubtfire?
then?
Oh,
Mrs. Doubtfire for 5 points is correct.
question and flame. I get it.
1996 and Independence Day.
I'm not going to be able to do these on the first.
Yeah, a couple of them I think I know, but not these ones. So yeah, let's get the clue.
Iowa State.
Interesting. Iowa State. Field of Dreams is 1989.
Oh, I know it.
96. That could be Babe,
Babe?
because doesn't he go to the Iowa State Fair? Or maybe not. Or maybe that's Charlotte's Web. I always mix those 2 up.
It's about some
Well,
pig.
it could be Babe would be the movie. If
Yeah.
you're confident that it's a pig movie.
I'm just trying to think of Iowa State. I think Fair, but we could take another clue if you
All
want.
right, let's take the clue.
They'll get it now.
That was smart. Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
Oh, duh.
Twister.
Iowa State being the Cyclones.
Twister is correct.
Oh, that's a great clue. Cyclones. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Twister is correct for 5 points. All right. 1998, Saving Private Ryan.
This might be the Matrix, but I
I
don't.
believe Shakespeare in Love outgrossed Saving Private Ryan.
I thought The Matrix was 99. I don't.
I'm always a year off. Well, let's get the.
I mean,
let's get the
yeah, I'm
clue.
fine with that.
Now, this is definitely the least helpful clue.
Oh, good.
Great.
Asteroid Strike.
Oh, is this?
So it's
It's
either
Armageddon.
Armageddon or First Contact.
No,
but I would say Armageddon.
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
And I don't.
Sorry. How dare I?
I know. Come on. This is my favorite.
Any two-word movies are the same for me, Matt.
This is my
First Contact,
favorite
Deep Impact.
genre of movie.
So really, the big question here is you have to make sure you choose the one that is on the Criterion Collection. So make sure you choose wisely.
I think this is the one that Steve Buscemi's in, and we should go with Armageddon.
I'm with it.
Armageddon is correct for 10 points with Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton.
If you haven't heard the audio commentary for that, it's really funny because Ben Affleck is completely wasted and crapping on the movie.
Rightfully so.
Question number 9, 2005, Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, so here, this is our turn, right?
Yeah.
All right, so just
now we're starting to get into our
right. So
our
I was
adolescence.
I was in London, 2005. I saw Revenge of the Sith at midnight
Met Tom Cruise
at the Electric Cinema in Notting Hill. That year, I also met Tom Cruise at the War of the Worlds premiere, which also grossed a lot of money with Tom Cruise. So I'm trying to think, would that be number 2?
Where he runs.
You want to
Premiere
try to
grossed
get this
a lot
20,
of money with Tom Cruise.
20 points.
I don't know if it was number 2. It did
That
gross.
would help you claw your way
try
back.
let's try the 10.
Okay, we'll go for the no, one more clue. Okay.
Children's fantasy.
2005. Could that be Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe? Or
Oh yeah, let me think. 2005. It's possible.
I think the sequels didn't do very well.
No, yeah, because they only did like 2 of them, right? Like the Silver Chair and Prince
Caspian.
Prince Caspian.
Let's go with that.
Okay. Yeah, we can go with it.
With Liam Neeson and Tilda Swinton. That is correct for 10 points.
Wow.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
It made that much money?
I didn't realize it. Yeah.
I forgot it was that old.
Was Liam Neeson
Was
as
there
Lion?
no Harry Potter film that
I
came
thought
out
for
that
sure
year?
this would be Harry Potter. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm glad I forgot about Harry Potter's existence.
Liam Neeson was Aslan.
Cool.
And the final question, 2007, Spider-Man 3.
See, now we're in the heart of superhero movies. Yes, that's the dance. Neal performing the Toby here in the studio. We're gonna probably need a clue, right?
Probably. I'm also going to let you know that this is the year I was in Europe, so I didn't see any movies, and I have no concept.
They don't
of
get
what
movies there in Europe.
Well, they dub them in Austria, and I refuse to see them in German.
It was an art house French film.
She only watched the films of Fritz Lang while in Europe.
And Werner Herzog.
All right, for 10 points, animated threequel.
Oh, so it must be Toy Story 3?
Is that-
Or Shrek 3?
Ooh, that's tough.
What was the year?
2007.
2007.
I think that's too late for Toy Story. Oh no, because Toy Story 4 just came out. They take a long time.
I like Shrek, I think, because I
Shrek the
graduated university, and I remember going out for dinner with my prof with everybody who had graduated, and she had just taken her kid to Shrek.
Yeah.
To a Shrek film.
She's like, boy, Shrek really is awesome in German.
How do they do the Scottish? What's the Scottish equivalent of the accent then?
It's what
Give a Bavarian twist.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm good. Let's lock in with Shrek 3. Who knows?
Okay.
Shrek the Third is correct
All
for 10
right.
points.
Great job.
With the ability to get 20 points on each of the questions, the teams could have gotten 100 or more, potentially, if they had stolen on these. So I thought the scores were going to be crazy, but it actually worked out quite well. Both teams getting 35 points, which will bring Baby Jeff up to 80 and Rock Maple Syrup up to 110.
All right, awesome. Can we get the second round now? See if we could catch up.
So, round number 2. Your GD right, Ken Bones. Questions about Ken Bone, famous Kens,
Undecided
and
voter.
Bones.
My favorite Ken. No lie.
That's disappointing.
Sorry, Jennings.
Oh, question number 1. After Ken Bone, wearing his now infamous red sweater and glasses, asked a question at the second Clinton-Trump presidential debate, what titan of the early internet ran ads showing how users could pull together their own Ken Bone Halloween costume?
I have no idea on this one.
Is that why you
I
showed
don't
up to
either.
my party?
We'll say AOL.
Okay.
Oh boy, what do you know about titans of early internet?
I don't. Are they looking for a person? Or,
I believe
person,
it's a
right?
person. Yeah.
oh boy.
Who's
But
big?
in America, companies are people too, so could also be a company.
True. That's fair.
Legally speaking.
Like
Yeah.
a live journal? Like I don't know. It's not something I can't even think of like what people were doing in the internet.
Well, here's a guy who was very big on YouTube that I could see doing this would be Smosh, and he did a lot of things similar to this video style. Are you okay locking in with that?
No, I clearly have a very good answer, but I'm just following from you.
Storing up in your back pocket.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Sounds great.
We'll lock in with Smosh.
And we're just sticking with AOL because we have no clue.
The answer here is eBay.
Mm.
eBay.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Yeah, my brain was going to
It
the
was.
chocolate rain
It was.
guy, but
I almost said Tazon Day as well because it seems like something he would do.
but eBay definitely makes a
Hide
lot
your
more
kids,
sense.
hide your red sweaters.
He definitely was not advertising for Reddit, though, is what we're saying.
Yeah, probably
For
not.
Ken Bone. Okay.
Speaking of, question number 2. Bone's advertising dollars dried up, however, after controversial past comments were discovered on his Reddit account. What's the feathery internet term often used in verb form for the inevitable disappointment that arises from a viral sensation's offensive past history?
Oh. What is the name of this?
That's the question, Matt.
Oh, I know it. Are you okay if I lock in with this really dumb
I'm
answer?
100%. I'm very okay with it.
Okay.
I know this one, Ken. it's
So this is when a figure gains prominence and then immediately loses that prominence due to cancellation.
right, or just something else pops up. Yeah,
It turns out this person is terrible.
yeah, exactly.
So like Hindenburging.
Hindenburg. Yeah, feathery. He said feathery verb.
Or like Icarus.
Icarus could be good. I don't know how the kids would be, talking about Icarus, but or if they even know what Icarus is.
They fly too close to the sun, they get burned. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I mean, maybe we should make it a thing. Maybe they get hashtag Icarus.
All right, we're going to say hashtag Icarus.
This is where everybody loves the milkshake duck. It turns out the milkshake duck is a Nazi. You got milkshake ducked.
What?
That is absolutely correct. Milkshake duck.
I like mine better. Makes a lot more sense.
Do you have any flavor
I just call it
text
the Jared effect.
on the milkshake duck?
No,
here?
it's from a thread where it was like, oh, look at everyone loves this duck drinking a milkshake. And then it's like, oh, turns out the milkshake duck was a Nazi. Milkshake duck is canceled. And that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it is from a tweet. The whole internet loves milkshake duck, a lovely duck that drinks milkshakes. 5 seconds later, we regret to inform you the duck is racist.
The internet is so funny.
That's way better.
Then Icarus? Hashtag
Yeah.
Icarus?
Yep, that's way better. Sorry.
All right.
That's funny.
Mine wasn't, I guess. All right. Baby Jeff.
Question number 3. From the Greek for bone and hard, what's the medical term for the abnormal hardening and increased density of bones?
That's the Ken effect.
You're going to get yourself milkshake ducked over. Watch yourself.
My milkshake duck brings all the boys to the yard.
Oh, boy.
So you said it was it was bone and hard?
Yes.
He sure did.
That was the question, yes.
So Neal wrote down an answer, and that's what I was thinking too, but I think that's actually the opposite. I think that's the bones getting less dense and less strong.
Oh, that's when the bones get soft, not hard.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Right. I mean, that's when you're,
It's more joints, but let's go with it. We don't have anything better, I don't think.
Okay.
We're locked in.
All right. I got nothing on this one, unfortunately. It's not about dumb internet stuff.
I'm trying to pull from the recesses of stuff that I read for work. Like bone is osteo,
Mm-hmm.
and osteoporosis is the weakening of the bones. I think sclerosis might be the hardening of your arteries. So I'm wondering if it might be osteosclerosis.
That
And-
sounds very smart. I wrote down calcifying, and that's not even close. So I like what you said because it has a science.
It doesn't actually have a science. It has a vague me remembering reading these and then Googling what the hell does that mean.
I'll take it.
Forgetting.
Sounds pretty good.
Okay.
And we went with arthritis because we too thought osteoporosis was the softening or less densening. What would you say? What's a better way to say that?
De-densifying.
De-densifying. Thank you, Matt. Matt, smarter than Jeff. What is the answer? We said arthritis.
The answer is osteosclerosis.
Yeah.
Wow, great answer.
Correct.
We're getting
Finally, Googling medical terms has paid off.
That's why she's a roller derby captain. Because she makes our bones soft by pushing us to the ground.
That's right.
To train.
Question number 4. From 2009 to 2014, Ken Bone, no relation, was the basketball coach at this D1 university, an institution that plays its in-state flagship rival each year for college football's Apple Cup.
Ken just threw his pencil. It was I'm out.
I'm resigned to loss.
The Apple Cup. So these are the only things I'm going to say about this. It's probably a Southern school. They love football. They love cups. There's a lot of apples in the South. Can you name a state that has a lot of apples? Then I'll pick a college.
What about the Big Apple?
Well, I guess Michigan actually has the most apples per capita, I believe, in the United States, right? Or something.
Pure apples.
New York has the largest
Pure
apple.
Michigan.
I don't know what you're saying here.
Pure Michigan.
I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know why. I'm just thinking, let's see, the Apple Cup, it's got to be D1 school, in-state.
What was that Hail Mary school that I chose that one time? Temple?
Temple? Yeah, I was just thinking if it is Michigan, I would go Michigan State would be
Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I believe that one's the Bunyan, right?
No,
Paul
the
Bunyan?
Paul Bunyan, yeah. The problem with the Apple Cup is every 2 years you have to upgrade it. But I think
And it's
that
increasingly more expensive.
yeah, I think that Washington State and Washington State play for the Apple Cup.
Oh no, Marcus is going to be so angry with us that we didn't pick out the two schools in one cup.
Well, this game's ugly. But I don't know if it would be Washington
We
or
said no poop jokes.
Washington or Washington State. Do you have a preference?
Preference between the two.
Yeah, which one do you like better?
Which one feels good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say Washington.
Okay.
Pure.
We're going with the University of Washington.
I tried to steer you in the question, in-state flagship rival. So that one's probably on me. They play Washington. Ken Bone coached for Washington State.
Oh, man.
So close.
I hate when I get 80% of it right.
Sorry. Question number 5. Sleazy attorney Ken Rosenberg proffered his services to mobster and protagonist Tommy Vercetti in this neon-soaked 2002 installment of a long-running video game series.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we are locked in for once.
I mean, technically,
I kind of stopped listening when he said video game series because I knew I was going to be of no service.
Yeah. 2002 lawyer game. Ken Rosenberg. I don't know what any.
That Ace Attorney is the only one that I know of, but I don't know if that's neon soaked or
Objection. Hearsay.
in the timeline.
Oh, you know what this is? I think this might actually be Grand Theft Auto Vice City because the neon colors of Miami. And
Okay.
I think Tony Vassetti is the main character in that. So I think we can go with GTA Vice City.
We too said GTA Vice City, and RIP to Ray Liotta, who did a voice in that game.
Mm-hmm.
He was the voice actor behind Tommy Vercetti. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is correct.
Great soundtrack on that game.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, and after 5 questions in the second round, we've got Baby Jeff moving up to 90 points, and Rock Maple Scissors. Nope.
That's right.
I've been changing it to syrup or scissors.
Oh, we're rock
yeah.
maple syrup? Oh, that's
I don't know.
fine too. It sounds delicious.
And adding another 30 points to extend their lead to 140, Rock Maple Scissors.
Question number 6. Barbie's good pal Ken shares a last name with this frontiersman and explorer who was born in Kentucky, died in what became Colorado, is buried in New Mexico, and has a city named for him in Nevada.
All right. In terms of American explorers, I could name 3 who were on the same expedition, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't see any
Mo,
of those
Larry,
people,
and Curly.
being born in Kentucky.
David Spade and Chris Farley.
Right.
But we could choose one of them.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Well, think of what the most generic name would be, because they're going to give Ken the most generic name because it's a doll, right? So that's my guess. Because I Barbie's real name is it Barbara Millicent something? She has a cooler name. I can't remember, but
Barbarella.
Definitely not Barbarella. What's the most like American simple
explorer
of those? Yeah, of just Ken.
Oh, it's Ken's last name.
His last name is what we're looking for. Yeah,
isn't it?
Johnsonless.
I used to know his last name.
I know, I did too. I researched Barbie and Ken's names just for trivia, and I've completely forgotten them now. Like the manufacturers forgot his junk.
You'll learn it in the new Barbieverse movie that's coming out.
All right. In terms of explorers, American explorers, I can name 3 from the same exploration party.
Mm-hmm.
And there I stop. So do you want to say it's Clark?
Sure, Ken Clark.
Isn't it Barbara Millicent? Is it Rogers?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a good name. All right, so I was also kind of torn between Lewis and Clark. Did you have any ideas?
So, I don't know if I'm just trying to make it fit, but like the name that popped into my brain was Carson, and then there's Carson City in Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
But I have no idea of who that explorer would be.
Johnny Carson, who came to everybody's households every night.
That's right.
He's exploring.
And went from Nebraska to California?
Wherever. Let's go with Carson. Carson City. That sounds good.
It's a great guess.
Kit Carson is correct.
Man.
Leave it to the Canadian to rescue you guys.
Yeah,
I've had it with this game. let's get a quick palate cleanser here.
Ken was
correct. I found this tweet. At Brittany means it. One of my greatest joys in life is when Jeff calls the vet to make an appointment, and they ask him his name, and he says Jeff. Then they ask our cat's name, and I watch him gather his strength before he tells them, "Baby Jeff." At Brittany means it. Good tweet.
And another palate cleanser. So, Stacey, you're giving us a beatdown with Matt. Isn't there a term in roller derby, like when you physically hurt someone for the purpose of moving forward or something? Like a term?
Jam.
A jam. Is that what it is?
Well, jam is just like the division. Like jam is like period or.
Oh.
Like it's just a little individual or like a down.
Yeah.
Like a heat.
Okay. Or there's like a role on the team, right? Like enforcer or something like that?
Jammer.
Blockers
right?
typically hit.
Okay.
Right, we're getting blocked.
Try to score.
We're getting blocked really bad.
You just got jammed.
And you were.
I feel like what you might be
jammed.
What you might be thinking of is Eat the Baby, which is where the jammer like gets taken back and then swallowed up in the pack, and then the other jammer keeps going around and around.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
Jeff.
Eat the baby Jeff.
But I'm interested in this.
All right, let's
Crush
go
it.
7.
You were correct, Ken. It is Roberts, for the record.
Question number 7. The character, Dr. Leonard H. Bones McCoy, frequently refused to use this ubiquitous Star Trek invention, but in his defense, it was often the source of plot points and accidents.
I believe so, yeah.
I love the original series.
All right, we're locked in.
I don't know. I'm not a Star Trek guy. Do you have any idea here?
I am not either, and the only thing I can think of is I don't know what it's called, but the Beam Me Up Scotty thing.
Yeah.
Is that does he just not use that? But then how does he get off of the ship?
So
That's probably not.
I think that this might be whatever their version of like hyperdrive is, because it's like they can't get away from the things that are attacking them because this thing's down, or they can't do it. They don't have the power, is what I believe this is possibly referencing.
Okay.
But I don't know what it's called. So it's like the turbo thrusters or something like that. But I don't know exactly what it is. Light speed or warp speed.
Warp speed, sure.
We're gonna say warp speed.
We're going with the teleporters. Though I believe in the new set of movies, he's afraid of like flying in general.
I believe so, yeah. Carl Urban in the new one, yeah. much cooler bones.
Damn it, Jim.
So diverse. Carl Urban in his roles.
The answer is transporter, although I would have accepted the beam me up Scotty thing.
Oh, man.
I signed aboard this ship to practice medicine, not to have my atoms scattered back and forth across space by this gadget. And unsolicited plug, Strange New Worlds. Fabulous show. Fabulous.
I've heard good things.
Question number 8. Because a simple broken bone isn't the worst case scenario, this medical term exists for a broken bone that protrudes through the skin.
Terrifying.
We're elected.
Oh, boy. I believe this is a compound fracture.
I agree. I always thought a compound just meant it like fully broke, but I can't think of anything else.
I believe this is what happened to Joe Theismann's leg on national TV.
Let's say compound fracture. Sure.
Okay.
And we agree, compound fracture.
The correct answer is to not watch that Theismann clip and compound fracture.
Ugh, gross.
That was rough. Yeah. Terrible accident.
Question number 9. Before he was the Whitewater Monica Lewinsky Independent Counsel, and even longer before he left Baylor University under accusations he ignored sexual assaults perpetrated by members of the school's football team, Ken Starr served as this for the George H.W. Bush administration, an office officially responsible for arguing the U.S. government's positions at the Supreme Court.
I was hoping he was going to ask the name of the person. I was like, Ken Starr, I got it.
Ken round? Yeah.
You get a clue.
I was thinking that too, but I feel like that'd be too easy for that position that is specifically to go argue against the Supreme Court.
I think it is. It's like that.
Objection.
Sustained.
Yeah, I mean, we could go with it. I feel like it's another person, but I'm not going to come up with another lawyer category.
Okay. We think we have a read on this one, so we're going to go ahead and lock in, though we're not sure.
I feel like this might be in your wheelhouse, Stacey. Do you have an idea?
Well, it would be if I practiced law in the United States, but I do not.
In Canada, they have to wear the wigs.
We do wear robes, but no wigs.
Oh.
Still cool.
I believe that he was the Attorney General.
Attorney General?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to guess that as the thing, but like...
Yeah, it seems like a cool title. AG, Ken Starr, Attorney General.
Sure.
Yeah, we said Attorney General as well. And Attorney General, just for our Canadian listeners, is like an attorney, but in America they wear like an army helmet and ride a little tank.
Baby tank.
Like Michael Dukakis.
And my favorite fact is the plural of them are attorneys general.
Which is insane.
It is.
I feel like I could give half credit, but I can't because they are two separate, distinct things.
Oh, it's Solicitor General, isn't it?
It is Solicitor General. Yeah, the general part's right.
Well, we were generally correct, so I'd give us some
And apparently the Solicitor General historically has worn, like, robes or wigs or something. And when Elena Kagan was the Solicitor General, she says, nope, I'm not going to do that.
It's enough of that.
National hero.
Question number 10. Within 50, what figure does the Guinness Book of World Records credit to Daredevil Evel Knievel as the number of bone fractures in his stunt jumping career?
We are locked in with a number of bones, which is how I do all my counting.
Ken Bones.
Yeah. David Boreanaz. So he's been doing these jumps for quite some time, 40 to 50 years probably, maybe even more.
He's not doing them now.
No.
No.
They can still strap him on.
Permanent retirement, yeah.
You can still strap them on, you say? Come on, man.
The new Weekend at Bernie's.
Good Lord.
The Snake River Canyon coffin jump.
Yeah. Anyway, reset. So I think that at most he's probably, what do you think he's been breaking, like 15 to 20 a year? That's a lot of bones.
That's a lot of bones.
But you have a lot of bones in your
like,
fingers and feet and ankles.
True. And he probably like did one really bad one where he broke like several of them. You know, like
What do you think? It's like 300, something around there?
Yeah, well, sure. Let's go 300. I honestly have no real inroad on it because it's going to be something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the end, it's just a made up number for whatever. So we're gonna say 300.
Sure.
I don't know how he would have broken the bones in his ear, but I believe Evel Knievel once said he's broken every single bone in his body at least once.
Yeah. So what do you have, roughly 200 something? 206
for an adult human?
We thought maybe around 300 too. So just to hit the 300 mark and get a little lower, we said 262.
So I ran this game by, of course, the awesome playtesters. And one today was talking about, well, when I hear within 50, I multiply that by about 10. I think I'm in the ballpark of 500. Answer is 433. 433.
Wow, that's a lot of bonage.
He's the reason we can't have universal health care.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah.
What's the score, Jeff?
All right, so still trailing but not too far behind with a score of 110 points is Baby Jeff. And in the lead, Rock Maple Syrup with a score of 160.
All right, let's hear the final round categories.
Your final round categories for this evening are Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe.
Now, these are all Canadian provinces?
One of them is a U.S. state.
Jeez.
And before we get our wagers in, we just want to quickly thank all of our Patreon supporters for helping us drive this podcast forward.
Yeah, we're almost at 260 patrons at the time of recording, hoping to get...
Correct. 460.
We're almost
we
at
guessed 262 on the last question.
That's true. That's why I was thinking of broken bones there. But there's no broken bones when you're a Patreon supporter of the show. You get all this free content. You don't have to worry about being like Paul Newman in The Hustler, getting your thumbs broken by Fats Domino, Minnesota Fats, excuse me. Fats Domino was a musician. We're going off the rails here, but really all we're trying to say is thank you to all our patrons for helping us create nonsense like this. If you go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast, you can get a ton of stuff, Jeff. And what does that include?
Yeah, so I think the nonsense that you just heard was way worse than the normal nonsense that we spew out on our monthly crop drops and bonus episodes, but you can get all that for supporting us on Patreon and much more. So just if you can support us, we would love to have you check us out. Patreon.com/Triviality Podcast.
I thought Fats Domino was a pool player.
Minnesota Fats is the pool player.
Oh, geez, we're back on this. How many bones did Evel Knievel break again? How many bones was it?
433.
We got more Patreon supporters than Evel Knievel's broken bones. Yes.
That was our main goal.
And with that, the wagers are now locked in. It looks like our team at Baby Jeff is doing 5s all the way down because we got slaughtered this whole game. The other team, Rock Maple Syrup, is doing 15s all the way down. So we'll see what happens. What are the questions?
In the category of Washington, what Washington state jurisdiction retconned its origin name in 1986 and changed who it was named after without changing its name? In the category of Adams, Blink-182's Adams song specifically invokes what other song in its lyrics? Take your time with this question. In the category of Jefferson, this man, Jefferson's second vice president, the one after the murdery one, shares his name with a funk musician. In the category of Madison, Dolly Madison Snack Cakes manufactures this tasty treat that comes in chocolate, vanilla, and raspberry flavors and is also a term for a witty comeback. And finally, in the category of Monroe, what specific place on a person could you find a Monroe piercing, the mirror reverse of a Madonna piercing?
All right. Those are the questions. We'll be right back with our answers. All the answers are now locked in, so we're back, and let's have the questions one more time. See if we can conquer this game, but probably not. We'll see.
So what place in Washington is playing Fast and Loose with who it was named after?
Picked a place that sounded like it was named after a person, maybe, and we said Olympia for 5 points.
Okay. And we were discussing it and just started naming places in Washington. And then I said that Vancouver, there's a place in Washington named Vancouver. And I said that was named after a person, and maybe it changed its name. And then we were trying to figure out 1986, and that's when Expo 86 was in Vancouver. So maybe that was the reason for changing the name.
Okay.
So, Vancouver.
William Rufus King is an obscure vice president from Alabama who's notable only for taking the oath of office in Cuba and dying about, 3 weeks into the administration. Washington was thirsty for admission into the Union. King County was named after William Rufus King, but in the 1980s they decided, hey, how about we change it to Martin Luther King? King County, Washington.
Much better, King.
Mm-hmm. Don King. They changed it again.
Much less.
Lesser King.
Lesser King. All right, let's get the next one.
Adam's song specifically invokes what other song in its lyrics? The hint was, take your time.
Yeah, that was the line, take your time, hurry up, was the line that we were zooming in on, and we couldn't really place it in another song off the top of our head. I think Jeff maybe knew it, but we said landslide.
Yeah. I know that 16 just held such better days, but I have no idea.
You sing Take Your Time, Hurry Up in the song. Like, how does it go in that song?
The choice was ours. We didn't something enough.
Yeah.
All right, what is it, Jeff? Just tell us.
Come As You Are.
Oh. Well, we guessed it.
I mean,
we guessed Jeremy, so we were in the right genre.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed it is Nirvana, Come As You Are. Jefferson had a second vice president who was also a funk musician.
We thought of George Clinton, so we said Clinton.
And we also thought of George Clinton, so we said Clinton.
George Clinton it was.
I'd watch that crossover. Or HBO miniseries.
What's the Dolly Madison snack cake that also is a witty comeback?
I don't think I've heard of these, but Neal said the word retort, and we know tort is a dessert, so we said tort.
I think I remember seeing these at convenience stores, and it's a very snappy comeback. We think it's a zinger.
Ooh.
It is a zinger.
Well done.
Yes, good poll.
And finally, what specific place on a person could you find a Monroe piercing, the mirror reverse of a Madonna?
Well, we learned about another piercing on the previous episode, but this we think is the left upper lip. So we think the Madonna's on the right and the Monroe would be on the left.
Well, we had a similar discussion, and we landed on that it is above the right lip. So
It is the left upper lip. The left.
All right. So after the final round scores had been calculated, unfortunately, Team Baby Jeff just did not have the legs to get it going. And they ended today with 105 points. But today's cream of the crop, rock maple syrup, 145.
You can't stop the cream of the crop, Dutch boy.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Great game, both of you.
Yep.
Somebody?
yes, thank you.
Anybody?
Sure was. Great
Very,
game.
very gracious victors. Very gracious victors.
We're speechless from our performance.
Well, Stacey, it was lovely to have you as always. Hopefully we can have you on again real soon. Any shout outs for the audience to enjoy?
Well, I guess I'll do my usual shout outs to my trivia pals in Butt Soup and Dab Jesus. And yeah, that's probably it, because those will be the only people who listen to me on here.
All right, well, thank you again for coming on. Will, another great game, hilarious questions, hilarious clues, and a lot of fun.
Thank you. I will shamelessly plug my podcast on the way out the door, Bat Chat with Matt and Will. Each week we take about an hour. We rank 3 Batman stories on our big board of over 120 now.
Oh, awesome.
That sounds really
cool. So if you
cool.
like Batman comics, give us a listen.
We might need your assistance on a future bonus episode that could revolve a little bit around the bat. We'll have to talk later about that and tease it for the listeners. But thank you both for joining us today, for being Patreon supporters. along with all the other great folks who help make these episodes possible. For Matt, Ken, Jeff, Stacey, Will.
Don't forget Baby Jeff.
And Baby Jeff, who doesn't have the legs yet, but they will one day. My name is Neal, and that was Triviality.
Ta-da.
What the
What they really need is the trophy of the chairman of the board trophy, which is Carrot Top on a surfboard emblazoned in gold or brass.
Hopefully not.
No one needs that.
Brass, probably.
And
not
Will's
Carrot
next
Top.
round is all about Carrot Top.
Surprise.